Princess Amelia gets stuck in a small town due to bad weather. She gets close to a local, Sam, and his daughter Sophie, right when Christmas is around the corner. But they don't know she's a princess. Amelia's private jet makes an unscheduled stopover in Tucker, Maine, because of a technical problem with the aircraft. She is headed home to Vollen in Europe for Christmas. The captain needs a few hours to deal with the issue. Amelia asks her assistant, Marcel, to not disturb her while she rests. Marcel decides to head over to the terminal to speak to the person in charge. He has been informed of a snowstorm and wants to make sure their path is clear. Amelia is trying to rest when she hears a bell outside the jet. She decides to grab her coat and check it out. Sam Cutler and his daughter Sophie are heading out to cut a tree before the storm approaches. Sophie wants to surprise her grandma with the best tree possible. Sophie discusses her ride that day with her friend Libby's horse, Nateo. Sophie wants a horse of her own, so Sam promises to put in a word with Santa. Amelia finds the dog, Storm, whose bell attracted her to the woods. Fred Harley, who is dressed as Santa, comes looking for Storm. He thanks Amelia for stopping him since Storm gets carried away. Amelia finds it weird that Storm's bell sounded much louder to her. I sense some Christmas magic. Fred thinks Amelia could also have heard Santa's sleigh bells. Amelia explains that she stepped off her plane to get some fresh air. Fred has seen her plane and was wondering who is flying out during the snowstorm. Fred describes his Christmas tree farm a few miles away, in which his wife runs the Christmas boutique. Since Amelia seems interested, he offers to take her there. He assures her it will only take a few minutes to the farm, and he can get her back in time. Sophie is excited to find Libby and her parents at the Christmas tree lot and asks her to help. Libby's parents, Brock and Melanie, are glad to see Sam. Melanie is Sophie's riding instructor, and they used to live next door to each other. Sam knows Sophie is excited for a tree this year since she couldn't get one last Christmas. Sam wants to finish the remodeling of their old house so they can move out of his mom's place. Melanie invites Sam to the Christmas Eve party she is chairing that year. But Sam doesn't make any promises. While Amelia is shopping, she bumps into Sam. He apologizes and checks on her while Sophie asks him to hurry so they can chop down the best tree. Amelia asks an airport professional, Annie, to help her with her plane. She has left her phone on board and doesn't have a way to contact them. Annie remembers the jet, but it took off an hour ago. Amelia realizes they must have assumed she's on board. She asks Annie to send them a message, but the storm has been interfering with her signal. The airport is also closing because of the blizzard, which might shut down the entire state of Maine. She assures Amelia it will only last for a few days. Amelia needs to be home for Christmas and starts panicking. Annie, who is Sam's mother, brings Amelia home to stay with them. Sophie remembers her from the Christmas tree farm and brags about getting the best tree. Sophie is excited about Amelia staying with them till the storm passes. Amelia apologizes to Sam for the imposition and feels grateful that Annie was kind enough to offer help. Sophie wants to decorate the tree with Sam, but he insists it needs to dry out in the garage. He reminds her about bedtime, and Annie decides to give her a warm bath. Amelia assures Sam she won't impose for long. She's worried about her people back home. She clarifies that she means family instead of people. She explains that she had private quarters and was in New York to give a speech for her family's philanthropic cause. Sam offers her leftover pizza, which she has never tried before. She also doesn't know if they have it cold, which amuses him. At least it doesn't have pineapple. She explains that she's from the country of Vollen. She tries to be polite and accepts his offer of having leftover pizza. Sophie is trying to wake Amelia up in the morning when Annie catches her. Amelia assures Annie she likes waking up to a Christmas elf like Sophie. The phone lines are still down, so Annie offers her breakfast. She assures Amelia she doesn't need to get dressed and can throw on a robe. Sophie finds Amelia very pretty, but remembers what Sam told her about the mind being more important. Sam explained that was in reference to her math homework. Amelia wants to contact her family since her plane must have landed by now. Sam assures her they will work something out. She tries to explain this could cause a state of emergency. Sam thinks the storm is an emergency too, but assures Amelia he will try to contact them. He's headed to the town and has a lot of work before Christmas. Sam assures Sophie they will bring the tree back from the garage soon if it's dry. Annie has heard that the storm has affected cell towers all over New England. She feels bad for Amelia that they're cut off for a while. She also apologizes for Sam's behavior in the morning. Amelia feels he doesn't like her. Annie assures her that the holidays are hard for him. His ex-wife, Kara, who was Sophie's mom, perished in an accident around Christmas 2 years ago. He had nearly finished remodeling their house when this happened. They temporarily moved in with Annie around the time, but Sam hasn't been able to repair it since the accident. Annie loves having Sophie and Sam around, but she knows how challenging the holidays are for him. Amelia feels bad for imposing, but Annie assures her she wants her there. She knows Sophia likes her. She also wants Amelia to know Sam's history, so she doesn't feel bad about his behavior. Sophie wants to build a snowman with Amelia. She remembers her protocol about being out in public. Amelia explains to Sophie that her dad is strict about her safety. Sam is strict about Sophie too, so she understands. Sophie assures her they're only heading out to their front yard. She also hasn't made a snowman all winter. Amelia doesn't have anything to wear, so Sophie takes her to the attic. It has Kara's old clothes, and she used to play dress up there. Amelia assures Sophie that her mother is in heaven with the angels. Amelia also thinks Sam is lucky to have an angel like Sophie looking after him. Sophie finds something that will fit Amelia, and it's in Kara's favorite color. They also find Annie's old dresses from when she was a dancer. Amelia assures Sophie she knows about dressing up as a princess. She offers to style Sophie's hair and teaches her how to bow properly. They startle Sam with a snowball, but Sam retaliates with a fight. Sophie is excited about the snowman she built with Amelia, and Sam helps out by making him feel warmer with a scarf. They head inside for Christmas cookies. Amelia insists on cleaning the utensils as a guest. The cell towers are still out, and Amelia shares how paranoid her father must be. Sam assumes there's some freedom in her being a wealthy woman with a private jet. If only he knew. Amelia shares how planned out her whole life is. She just wants to be ordinary and is glad she got stuck in Tucker. She feels bad for being there so close to Christmas, but Sam wants her around since Sophie likes her. Amelia admits Annie told her about his late wife. Sam feels even 2 years isn't long enough. He realized it when he saw Amelia wearing Sophie's clothes that day. It also made him realize he needed to give Sophie her home back soon. Sophie fixes the crookedness of the tree with a trick Sam taught her. Amelia learns that Sam managed to get word to her plane, so her family knows she's safe. The phone lines are still down, and the airport is still closed indefinitely. Annie still wants to make the best of this time with pancakes. Annie asks for Amelia's help in the kitchen, but she doesn't even know what nutmeg looks like. Can't blame her. She's a princess. Annie offers her a cooking lesson and instructs her. Sophie wants to get ornaments from the old house to decorate the tree, but Sam is out with the truck. She really wants to hang the old ornament with Kara's picture. Amelia offers to get it for her, even if it's too cold outside for a walk. She manages to arrive at the house, but Melanie mistakes her for Annie. Amelia assures her she's not an intruder. Melanie has heard about her staying with the Cutlers. She asks her to keep in touch and enjoy Tucker. When Amelia finds the Christmas ornaments, she hears someone entering the house. She hides behind tinsels while Sam makes his way to the basement. He assumes it's Sophie, but laughs out when he realizes Amelia is hiding from him. Amelia explains she got scared when she heard someone. She admits she's there for Sophie, so Sam feels that's very thoughtful of her. He has dropped by for the ornaments too, and since he needs to repair the place, he shows her around but doesn't want Sophie to see the house like this. Amelia assures him that Sophie will appreciate how hard he's trying to remodel it. Sam teases Amelia about hiding in tinsel when he hands over the ornaments to Sophie. She wants to decorate the tree, but Sam feels it's too early. Amelia makes fun of how slow he is in renovations to make Sophie laugh and feel better. Tit for tat, I guess. They start decorating the tree with Annie's hot chocolate. Amelia loves that they make their own ornaments every year. Christmas at her place is more formal, and they never open the gifts until after Christmas dinner. Amelia has one unique tradition she wants to share with them. She asks Annie for ribbons, which she ties to a branch of the tree to make a wish. This wish is usually for someone else for Christmas. It's supposed to be untied on Christmas Day, so it comes true. Sophie is excited to follow this tradition, and she convinces Sam to do it too. Amelia explains that this is the first tree she has properly decorated. The staff mostly works at her place, and they only leave out a few ornaments for the family to hang. Amelia loves how exciting the Cutler family traditions are. She was homeschooled, so she never could make many friends. She hasn't even dated anyone properly. All her interactions with men have been during dances spearheaded by her dad. Well, that's not ideal. Sam thinks her dad sounds like a tyrant, but Amelia assures him he's more democratic. Sam wonders if she would want to give up her strict life for the kind of freedom she has in Maine. Amelia can't imagine life without a home, even if she wants to find her own voice. Amelia is excited about dressing up in jeans and realizes the phone lines are working. She calls Marcel, who is glad to hear from her. Marcel explains that there's panic in the palace because of her disappearance. Even her father is being difficult. She asks Marcel to assure him she'll be home for Christmas. Marcel is also just waiting for the airport to reopen, so he can come get her in the private jet. Amelia joins Sophie and Annie late when they have already finished breakfast. Sophie is drawing a picture to gift Sam for Christmas, which she will later frame. She is hoping to go to the Christmas market that day, and asks Amelia for help. Annie is glad Sam rushed out to repair the house that morning. Amelia informs them about getting in touch with home, so Annie feels they can find out more about the airport opening when they head to town. That reminds Sophie of the Christmas Eve party. Sophie asks Annie if she can help Libby's mom plan and decorate it. Sam used to love going there, but he is against the idea now. Amelia suggests Sophie can surprise him, but Annie doesn't think he will take that well. Since Sophie is too excited, Annie agrees to at least think about the idea. Brock asks Sam about Amelia as they work on the house. Sam knows Sophie loves her, and she's also growing on him. Melanie has told Brock how attractive she is, so Sam knows he is suggesting something between them. Sam feels, since she lives halfway across the world and is very rich, nothing can happen between them. Brock doesn't feel her being in Tucker is an accident and thinks she literally fell from the clouds for Sam. Brock wants Sam to believe in Christmas miracles. Right now, he's only trying to get the house ready in time for Sophie. Since Santa isn't in the North Pole, Sophie wants to get the scarf she liked for Sam. Amelia offers to hold their place with Santa and stay back so Sophie can get her picture. Amelia sits on Santa's throne like it's hers, and Fred reminds her that's his seat. Old habits die hard. He teases her about feeling at home on the throne and wonders if she's a queen. Amelia asks if his wife knows he is moonlighting with Santa. Fred assures her Sarah is happy sharing him as Santa all over town whenever he is needed. He asks Amelia to get a front row seat for Santa's speech. She hopes to get inspired since she's not good at public speaking. Fred asks her to speak from her heart and feels things will work out as long as she's honest with herself. Fred jokes about the winter with the crowd and hopes all of them have a magical Christmas. He asks all the kids to take turns to tell him their wishes. Amelia brings lunch for Sam while Annie is taking Sophie next door to see Libby. He has asked Annie to not bring Sophie by because he is working on a surprise. He has carved horses for Sophie in her room since she loves them. He just needs to strain the wood and paint the wall. Amelia loves how talented he is. Since it's a lot of work to do before Christmas, Amelia offers to help him with the paint. She has been instructed by Vollen's most skilled artists and doesn't think painting with a roller will be different from a brush. Sam is impressed with her work on the walls and feels bad she won't see Sophie's expressions when it's ready. Amelia wants to but knows she will have to leave as soon as Marcel gets word from the airport. Sam is impressed that she has an assistant and assumes she must be excited to go home. She doesn't look too happy and explains she's not ready to face her father. Sam hoped this detour was worth the trouble. She assures him she had a great time. She will always remember the new holiday experiences she had with his family. She admits she liked being with him too, even if he's not always well-mannered. He assures her he cleans up well and asks her to stick around to find out. Amelia gets awkward and suggests they should check on Sophie. Libby is excited about Sophie moving back soon so they can brush Mateo's mane all day. Melanie invites Amelia to the Christmas Eve party, but they both know Sam is not likely to come. Amelia mentions their plan to surprise Sam instead of asking him. Melanie gets an idea about talking to Brock. Amelia explains that her family in Vollen is famous for the horses, and even has them on their flag. She has been riding since she was young, and has even won show jumping competitions. Sophie isn't allowed to jump because Sam thinks it's dangerous. Amelia knows it can all be taught with a skilled instructor, but only when Sophie is older. Sophie and Libby want Amelia to teach them, or at least show them some jumps. They're all impressed with how good Amelia is with Mateo. Sophie rushes back home since she wants to look up Vollen horses online. Amelia stays back to admire the lights because the decorations in Vollen always seem cold compared to this. They find Storm lurking around, and Amelia is glad she found him again. She explains how Storm is the reason she got off the jet and came to the town. They know the roads to Fred's house must be closed for the night, so Amelia suggests bringing Storm into the house for Sophie. Sam makes it clear to Sophie that they only have Storm for the night. Sophie doesn't want him to leave since she has always wanted a dog. Annie still convinces her for a bath, while Sam gives Storm a bath before he sleeps in the mudroom. Amelia offers to help, so Sam wonders if she has a dog back home. She has always wanted one, but her dad is a cat person. They have pure white Persians, and Sam can already picture them with jeweled collars. He asks about the necklace she wears, which she explains is an heirloom from her mother. She feels her father is overprotective because she is the only family he has. She compares it to what Sam has with Sophie. She doesn't think there's anything wrong with it, since she knows Sam loves Sophie. They bring Storm to the bucket, but he splashes and covers Sam in foam before running away. Amelia makes fun of how Storm showed Sam who is boss. He's about to kiss Amelia, but Annie interrupts them. Annie has heard from the airport and knows the storm is about to clear that night. The airport might open the next day on Christmas Eve, and the Vollen flight is also returning. Sophie wants Amelia to stay for the Christmas Eve party, but she has some obligations. Amelia still assures Sophie that Melanie will plan something to surprise Sam. Annie knows their whole family will miss Amelia. She understands that Amelia has to return because she heard about her being a princess. Amelia helps Sophie finish her drawing for Sam. She discusses a horse named Jasper back home. Amelia points out how talented Sophie is, and she's glad she got it from Sam. He sketches everything he builds, but he hasn't shown her the house yet. Amelia assures Sophie that Sam is working hard to finish the house he thinks she deserves. Amelia heads to her room to fetch some supplies for the Christmas frame. She bumps right into Sam while heading out, and tries to hide them. He tries to peek, but Sophie asks him to wait for his surprise. Sam informs Sophie that Annie has been looking for her. Sophie is upset that Sam needs to get Storm back to Fred that morning. Sam promises to get their own dog when the house is finished. When he comments on the gingerbread cakes, Sophie is about to reveal they're for the party. Amelia interrupts her, so the surprise isn't ruined. Sam is upset Amelia might leave that day since the airport has reopened. He asks her to still stop by before she leaves. Annie feels Amelia should tell Sam about her royal standing. She knows Sam has feelings for her and might feel betrayed. Amelia is not ready, but she agrees to do it soon. Melanie has heard from Brock that the remodel on Sam's place is almost ready. Melanie credits Amelia for it because she can tell Sam has feelings for her. She also noticed the way Amelia looked at him and was glad that Sam was ready to move on. Melanie hears from Brock that Sam is getting cold feet about the party. She's sure Sam will listen to Amelia and asks her to do it for Sophie. Amelia finds Sam humming while finishing work and explains that she is leaving soon. He's sad she won't get the ordinary life she wanted in Tucker. Amelia feels her time in Tucker has been extraordinary, so he kisses her. She wants to confess that she's a princess, but Sam gets a text from Melanie. Amelia realizes getting him to the party is more important. She makes up a story about Melanie needing her at town hall. She asks him to drop her and makes an excuse about dressing up at home. Sam refuses to enter the party, even when he learns that Sophie is waiting to surprise him. He explains that he attended this party with Kara 2 years ago. Annie took Sophie home early, but he stayed back with Kara. He asked her to drive since he was tired, and they hit some black ice on the way. Amelia doesn't know this is why she passed away and feels bad. Sam insists she should head in without him since he needs some time. Amelia understands why this is difficult for him. She assures him that she and Sophie would love it if he came. Marcel lands with the jet in Tucker and asks the king to step out. Sophie is glad Amelia convinced Sam to come to the party. Melanie asks for Amelia's help to give the toast that night. Sam remembers that Amelia hates public speaking, but she wants to step out of her comfort zone. Melanie introduces Amelia on stage as the special guest for the 32nd annual Tucker Town Christmas Eve party. Amelia admits in her speech that she's touched by the hospitality the town has shown her. She especially thanks the Cutlers for hosting her during the storm. Amelia feels their kindness and generosity reflect the spirit of Christmas. She asks everyone to embrace that spirit and toast to them. Sam is impressed with her speech, but Amelia wants to tell him about who she is. She gets interrupted by the king, so she bows to him. She explains to Sam that King Ellsworth Archelaus of Valen is her father. Sophie is impressed that Amelia is a real princess, but she assures her she's still the same person. She introduces the king to the Cutlers, and he thanks them for taking good care of Amelia. Ellsworth wants to head back to the airport, but Sophie insists Amelia can't leave yet. She is their special guest, and thinks the king should stay too, since he made such a long travel. The king agrees for one dance with Sophie, while Amelia tries to apologize to Sam for not telling him sooner. Sam is just shocked and not angry. Tuan asks Amelia for a dance. He wonders if he's allowed to touch her, and she assures him he can with her permission. Sam is still trying to process that she'll be a queen one day, and he makes her wash a dog. She assures him she wanted to do that, and paints Sophie's bedroom. She makes it clear she loves Sophie, and Sam understands that their situation is more complicated than he knew. He still settles for a dance with her, and thanks her for giving his daughter the best Christmas. Marcel fills the king in about their commitment that night in Boston with the ambassador. Amelia isn't interested because she felt very free in Tucker. The king heard her speech, and knew something changed in her. He's proud that she has become more confident and eloquent like her mother. He knows she will always do the right thing, and wants her to be happy. Amelia gets excited that he's on board, so she makes a request for Christmas. Sophie gifts Sam the drawing she made with Amelia's help. She also gives him a scarf Amelia picked out and wishes she was with them. Sam goes to get the door, and they're all excited to have Amelia back with a puppy for Sophie. They decide to untie their Christmas bows from the tree so their wishes come true. Sophie is happy because she already got hers with Amelia there. Sam asks them to get their coats, so he can show off his gift. He takes them to the finished house, and asks Sophie to check out her room first. He thanks Amelia when they're alone, and kisses her. Amelia admits she has a lot of Christmas obligations, but she's also a princess with a royal jet. She plans to let Sophie attend the Royal New Year's Eve ball in Vollen and asks Sam to be her chaperone. They're all excited, and Sophie hugs them for the best Christmas present ever.